Okay, welcome to a little discussion of the Group 3 informational group here on the MGRP choices. As it says, it's informational. That doesn't mean that there's no visual element. And we'll look at some of the possible visual elements, but most of it deals with the idea of formatting. You know, if you do a trivia game, it needs to look a certain way, look interesting, look eye-catching somewhat. Series of emails. Emails need to look like emails, newsletters, resumes, same sort of thing. As with the other genres, this is obviously something that you create, not something you find, and also something that will help push forward your overall claim in your MGRP. You know, each genre needs to work together. So, let's take a look at a couple of examples here, just to give you an idea of some pretty well done stuff here. So, let's start here. Actually, we'll start with a newspaper article. Notice it looks like a news article. Just has to have columns. Now you can get fancy. You can do a whole news setup. There's various things online that will make something look like a newspaper, but it needs to look right. But more importantly, the information needs to be focused on the topic. This is a top MGRP on photography. And so here we have a news article about a crime, and then photography's role in helping to solve the crime. The sources deal with that. The sources deal with that angle of photography, and that part of the topic of photography is covered in this well-written newspaper article. It also has newspaper style, the who, what, when, where, how kind of thing going on here. Early Monday morning, here's the date, here's what happened. Then the story and how the photos tie in there, and then all of this, if you go through and read, it's got a lot of interesting information about how photography's been used to solve crimes over time. So that's one example. Another example, going back from the list, one that people do often is the advice column thing. With this one, it needs to look like an advice column, and it needs to be longer than just a couple of lines. Every year somebody does an advice column, and they don't really do but just one little question and one little answer. So we're going to look at a good example of one of these. This one actually is an entire sort of issue, so to speak, of a Q&A, and this is an MGRP on writing. And so the Q&A here is how to get your novels out to the world as a writer. Question 1, how do you pick a literary agent? Notice it's got interesting graphics. Here's the answer. It's all research-based, very in-depth. It's got kind of that conversational tone that good advice writing has. There's some more. Question 2, what's the format? All this was found from research that this person did. So, here you've got the sources, which are also on the comprehensive works cited at the end. But this is a good example of the depth you need to go into in this informational type of genre here. As with everything, find out how to do it. Look it up online. Look at examples. Look at how people do these in magazines, on websites, etc., etc. All in all, again, it's pretty straightforward as far as the genre goes for the informational choices here, but it's always up to you to do a good job with in-depth research supporting everything that you say, then making sure that genre then overall supports your topic. That's it. Have fun.